All right, everybody, here we go. Getting organized, getting organized. Open, 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 open. Hey, there we go. Hey, finally. All right, hey, welcome. I had some technical difficulties, so I apologize. But it looks like we're up and running now. Thank you so much. I'm so excited you're here today. Uh, as you can see, this is a realtor's guide to multifamily investing, how to make more money from a residential real estate sale without changing what you're already doing. I've been doing it and it's working fantastic for me. And I want to share it with my fellow realtors. I'm so excited and I'm going to geek out a little bit. So let's get going before I get too much off track here. If you want to go somewhere, the best thing to do is find someone who's already been there. And this is not some profound statement I have said. This comes from Mr. Robert Kiyosaki himself. And if you're not sure who he is, please, please, please go out and read Rich Dad Poor Dad. It'll give you a whole different mind shift. And that's what we're here to do. This is our multifamily shift. Let's keep going. Oh my goodness, skipping things like crazy here. Let's back up one. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's talk about real estate and being a realtor. How many of you guys are concerned or you're having troubles? And if you're not killing out there in real estate, it's probably just not your fault. There are millions and millions of realtors out there. And I'll throw some numbers that I was looking up for this so I could share with you. And it's crazy. How many of you guys are out there and you're trying to be professional? You're showing up on time. You're staying late. You're doing what you got to do to bring in new clients, new leads, just all kinds of things to generate business. It's what we do. Like, gosh, I'm not selling as many houses. Better get out there and do what we do. Open houses, flyers, markets, phone calls, networking. It's a never-ending task. I myself recently had one where I didn't realize I was competing with my friend, his father-in-law. His father-in-law turns out he hasn't bought anything or sold anything in decades, but he still has his license, and he wants to help his daughter. Can't fault him, but now all of a sudden, I have put in a huge amount of time networking and giving referrals so that I can help my friend and his clients. Well, it turns out I didn't even get to help my friend because I'm competing with his dad. So it was crazy. I did all the work to prepare and get them ready to show, and I'm super excited because it's one of my friends, obviously, and I want to even do a better job. So I do all this extra work, get ready, and then it turns out he gives me the phone call, and I lost it. I can't fault him, but as realtors, how many of you guys are facing these problems? There's so many realtors. Everyone's a realtor. I went out the other day for lunch, met a whole bunch of new people. It turns out I met 6 new people. 50% of them are realtors. We're all chasing the same 3 people at a lunch. Like, holy cow. So it happens. It's just the way the market is and where we're at since the market's been so good for so long. Or maybe you're not just afraid of or having troubles with that and you're not killing it. Maybe you're afraid of the economic change. If you're like me, I got my teeth kicked in. I was a young man. I had a new bride, and we bought in December 2005. By January 2006, we already started to go upside down. It was just a nightmare. So I have past fear from that. I remember how rough we had it through that. And now I want to kind of insulate myself. And how many of you have that same fear? And maybe what you're doing right now is working, maybe it's not, and you don't want to mess anything up. But unfortunately, change happens. Historically, we're due for a recession. If it hits us, I've heard multiple times in the last week that, hey, guess what? House prices went up during the last recession. You're like, what about the volume of sales in a few different recessions? Yes, the last recession was based on the housing market. But how about the volume of sales, and how did the people who are working in that industry, how did they survive? According to the National Association of Realtors, the last recession hurt our industry, devastated it. There were, here it is. I had to write it down so I don't forget. So the National Association of Realtors, 200,000 real estate agents dropped out by 2012 once the 2008 recession hit. Now you fast forward to today and we're up to 1.36 million registered real estate agents as of 2018. That's up 160,000 real estate agents since 2008. There's a lot of realtors. And if there's some sort of economic shift, a lot of these people may be exiting the workforce, the less professional ones. Do you want to compete with those less professional ones as they try to hang on? Or do you want to have some added value? I'm concerned. It scares me. And then you throw on top of it the next thing, which is technology. How many of us are watching as Zillow and Trulia and iBuyer this come in and they're trying to get at what we do. So we have to solidify our relationships in hopes that we don't lose it to the father-in-law, the uncle, the brother, or the sister who does one house every 2 years. We got to try not to lose to them. Then we got to try not to lose to iBuyer coming in and saying they can do it. We're getting attacked on all fronts. And that's a challenge for us. We need to make sure that we're prepared. And then what's worse yet, if you use these things, these tools for lead generation, you're just paying more money. I don't personally advertise on Zillow, but I have a realtor friend, and he makes $200,000 a year, which is like, that's awesome. However, he spends $100,000 a year on leads, and he's constantly sitting behind the phone, and he just hits a phone list. He can do that. I don't have that ability. I can't sit that long. I just want to talk and move, and it's very tough. He has that ability, and bless him, he's doing great, but it's still, I can see it's wearing on him. It's stressful. So we have to be concerned with all these things and how we're going to prepare ourselves to weather the next storm. And, if you notice, all these things are out there in the world changing it around, and our home buyers and sellers, they're valuing our expertise less and less. And how many of them are attacking your commission? I've already had one this year where the guy's like, hey, I need half of the commission back to knock down the purchase price. I'm like, man, you're buying over $1 million house. The rent, the loan I got you through the lender I referred you to saved you more money than I cost. He didn't see it that way. So I get it. Some people are trying to save money, but I got to make money to provide for my family too, so I can stay professional and not carry the stress around of when is the next escrow closing. So why did you get into real estate? Let's talk about that a little bit. Why did you get it? Did you get in because you wanted to have some more freedom? Did you get in because you thought this would be a way to build wealth for your family? Selling real estate. There's how many billionaires come from real estate? You probably suspected that real estate would be the solution, and it's not quite what you thought it would be. I can tell you, back when I sold my first house a long time ago, my plan was always to do one thing: sell the first house, because I had a massive change of life. My family hadn't been on vacation in a long time. We're going to Disneyland. And I was like, I'm just going to blow the whole commission. And I go in, I have 2 days off. And that stress you kind of always carry around in the back of your shoulders, like, is the next escrow going to close in time? Can I get another escrow in while this one's in, so I can back up some money and have a good savings of money in there so I can survive through escrow to escrow? You're like, okay, great. I decided to blow my first one. Not responsible at all. However, my family needed the investment because they hadn't been on vacation in a long time. And for 2.5 days, it was wonderful. We had so much fun, and the kids hadn't really been there before, so you're seeing it through the eyes of a child, and it's just magic, right? And I didn't stress. And then, 2.5 days we're there, and then we're leaving, and that stress started to creep in. Like, okay, how am I going to pay for the next bills next month? Yeah, I took a break from the stress, but it wasn't gone, and that still hasn't changed. We're always concerned, when is the next escrow coming? How can we survive the peaks and valleys? They're telling you, go out and do your calls, your notes, do your pop-bys, see clients, break bread with them, constantly market. You're working 12 hours a day. At least you get to pick the 12 hours. You're only working half days. That's great. Then it comes to Wednesday and you've already worked 40 hours by noon. It gets tiring. So how can you even these challenges out? You're right that being a real estate agent alone may not get you to where you want to be, and it may not help you weather the next economic downturn. And what if the market does change and all of a sudden Zillow takes over? I'm pretty sure Blockbuster's not around. How many of us rented movies at a Blockbuster? I'm old enough to have done it. I work with a kid here. He never rented a movie from Blockbuster, but he can tell me all about Netflix. I'm like, God, I remember when Netflix could have been bought. Blockbuster could have bought Netflix. Now Blockbuster's gone. I don't get to go rent movies anymore. I do it all online. So we don't want to be Blockbuster. We've got to adapt and change. We've got to provide some things. So we have to figure out a way. What are your dreams? And getting into residential real estate has helped me achieve a little bit, but it's not necessarily providing. So I am super stoked because real estate is the key to your prosperity, even in the face of an economic downturn. Like, I'm so excited that there's things coming, that I'm ready for it. I know I've got some tools at my disposal that I can dig into to provide for my family and weather the storm. No matter how bad it gets, I've got opportunity. And that was the biggest challenge in our last recession, was where's the opportunity? How are you going to do this? So according to Forbes, there's 223 billionaires in the world. 10% of those people made their fortune through real estate. Most all of them own real estate. So this means you have a huge advantage. You are already in the right niche. You are ready. You're poised to come and join this opportunity that I'm going to share with you. So let's keep moving forward before I get too much of that, and I'm not getting this anywhere. Let's share a couple of goals. I just want to let you know my goals for this presentation. I've got 3 of them, and that's to introduce you to multifamily real estate and hopefully break some of your false beliefs about multifamily real estate. I'll explain why you want to help move your clients from single-family houses to multifamily houses. And you might be like me. You're a professional realtor, but you haven't been in the business super long time, and you're worried that your client base may not be enough to get you through the next economic downturn. So in that case, this training's for you. Or maybe you're on the other side of the coin. You are crushing it right now. You have a huge database and you're selling properties left and right. You're a high producing agent. And even this is training for you, because it will give you a tool that you don't have, an option that you can present to your sellers so that they can have more opportunity themselves. And we're being very specific with it. It's a course of action. We'll show you the guide. We'll guide you through the path. And I want you to make yourself more valuable. For whether you're a high producer or you're like me, you're not a huge producer yet, but you're working on it. We want to give you the valuable training you need so that you can provide more for your clients. My second goal is, not only is this a way to find freedom for yourself, but you're going to solve problems for your clients. And you can do this all through multifamily real estate investing. And then also on top of that, I want to show you that, ideally we're the way to get you there. We can help you with the multifamily migration. And please be sure to come and find us at the Multifamily Migration. Finding us on Instagram, Facebook. We'll be on YouTube shortly. My account's almost all set up. I've been working on this day and night to get this ready, because I've got realtor friends that are looking to this for some guidance and help. So I'm working like a madman. First, a little bit about me, real quick. I won't bore you with the details, but I have been married for 14 years now. I've got 3 kids, 12, 9, and 2. And my wife and I, we haven't had an easy path. We got our teeth kicked in by the last recession. And then we had deaths on top of it, which just compounded it, made it even worse. So, we haven't had a lot of easy time, and we're getting our way through it. And I want to share our successes and even our failures. So again, come and find us on social media at themultifamilymigration.com. You can even get to my personal one from there. So this is what I used to do. I was telling you a little bit about it. I used to be a soccer coach. In fact, I wasn't a good one. I was pretty great. I poured my heart and soul into it. And this was a labor of passion. You can see my wife snapped a picture of me there, not looking too great. But those pins that are up on the wall are pins that I just collected. I don't have trophies or anything like that really. And I just collected pins everywhere I went from with teams that I was at. It's kind of my memory board. Then there's a picture of one of the teams I've coached. And in fact, all those kids are grown up. They're all in their late 20s now. Wow, I feel old. Anyway, I coached for a long time. And, the great thing about it was I was good at it. I loved it, but it was just a job. And it didn't help me build wealth. So this one day I'm out buying groceries. And if you're a parent, you'll relate. You're buying groceries and you've got your children with you. They're young. My little one, my oldest was 7 at the time. And she was still super chubby, like those big cheeks that you just want to squeeze. And they're always like pink. Kind of a bundle of energy. And she's being fantastic, right? You're like, first child, I'm the most amazing parent ever. By the time you get to the third child, you're like, I don't know how these child got to be the way they are. I'm digressing. So I'm with my first one, Abby, and we're walking down the aisle, and she comes over. She's like, Daddy, can I get this? She wasn't asking for a toy. She wasn't asking for junk. She was asking for a $3 little carton basket thing of raspberries. Now, I hate raspberries. I don't like them. Cheesecake, nothing. I don't know. This is not for me. But she loved them, and it crushed my heart. I had to say no. The reason I told her was like, sweetie, I'm sorry. I don't have the money. And we had the money for the basics, and I was buying like milk, bread, and something else, like peanut butter, just to like have something to eat because we're just squeaking by. Here I am, this high-level coach, and I'm barely squeezing by, and I can't spend $3 for raspberries. Like, it crushed me. That when you get that hole in the bottom of your stomach and it won't go away, God, I felt so bad. I was devastated. So, that night in my mind, I was like, okay, I've got to make a change. I've got to provide for my family. How do I do that? Well, I'm going to go sell some houses. My wife's always telling me, like, I'm always telling my wife, like, I like real estate. I like Monopoly and real estate and this book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And, and she's like, why don't you go become a realtor? You're right, sweetie. Okay. So I started the path. And, I'm sure some of you guys, how many of you else are on your second or even third career? Here's a picture of me at my first residential real estate listing. I got my license in, I think it was like February, and it took me till July to get my first closing. So I did go, it took a while once I got going. And then after that, I went on to sell about 6 months. I got like 6 houses that year. So I did good. I was excited. Once I got the first one, I started rolling in. So far, it's somewhere over $30 million general real estate that I've had a fair mix of buyers and sellers. I'm happy mix. I like doing both. And even though I'm doing well, I'm still not providing the type of life that I want for my family. We're not deprived, but still just getting, just a little bit better than getting by. We live a super budgeted life. We're still on that roller coaster of the commission closes. The house closes today. The commission's coming in. Money goes back out, and it's this vicious cycle. And can we bank a little bit and pay for taxes? And, we have to. It's stressful a little bit. So I'm doing all this work and I'm doing all right. And then, it kind of sank in. I have to work. If I don't work, I don't have a team to close things for me without me. So I'm on my own. That makes me a solopreneur. Okay. I don't mind. I don't mind working hard. But what if I got sick? Or worse yet, what if I died? I'd leave my family with bills, no income aside from a life insurance policy. And that's not big enough that it would get them super far. So it became a fear that sat in the back of my head. And like, God, what do I do? Does anyone else have that fear? That if something happens to you, what are you going to do? Like, how's your family going to get on without you? You want to know that you've provided all your hard work for something. Yeah. So anyway, how did I get here? So, from where that guy was who was super stressed about one house to where I am now, vastly different person. And there's a lot of growth in there. So this is a picture of my son. You can see he stole a copy of my book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And we have a rule in our house that once you're 10 years old, you have to read the book because I want you to understand what dad's talking about. So he's almost 10 and he swiped it and wanted to read it a little bit early. Because of everything I've been doing, and I started figuring like, God, I'm stressed out. I need to provide something just in case something goes wrong and I get hit by a bus or lightning. I want to make sure my family's taken care of. So, I started thinking like that's generational wealth. So it's sitting in the back of my head. And of course I've read this book, which is sitting in the back of my mind. It's always been with me. And I'm out to lunch one day with one of my best clients, and we're great buddies. And I drive past this fourplex. And you know how as realtors, we all love real estate. Some real estate we just love more than others. I drove past fourplex and I'm like, I've always loved it. Even before I was a real estate agent, like I just love this little fourplex. And now I'm like, hey, I'm in the business. What does it take to buy that? Okay, let's go figure it out. So I go back. I'm super pumped. I'm like, oh my goodness, I want to do this. And it could solve some of my problems. I'll have money coming in. So if something happens to me, the family still got money coming in, and that solves my stress. And then I'll have extra money now. And like, I'm super excited. Okay, what does it take to figure it out? I'm geeking out on this thing. And then I started crunching the math and the numbers, and that was depressing. Have you ever gone from like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh, how do you feel like you're deflated? Kind of like when a balloon air gets let out of a balloon, that was me. I live in a market. I'm in San Diego, and our market's nuts. I can't buy that complex. First off, I can't get approved for it because I haven't been in the business long enough at this point to go show the income that I need to qualify for a loan, because it's all riding on what Ruben Martinez earns. Ruben Martinez does not earn enough to buy that fourplex. Crap. Well, all right, there goes that idea. But still, that idea of generational wealth is in the back of my mind. Like, well, how do you do this somewhere else? How do you buy this out of state? And, so that became my challenge was, I had no idea how to do any of this thing. So now the balloon started filling up a little bit, like you take a deep breath, you like deflate, and then you go, and you blow, and that balloon starts to fill up. That was me. I started like the geeking started to come out a little bit. And oh my goodness. So I started at this house, right? And I was like, okay, I want to get to fourplex, balloon deflated. Wait a minute. Did you know that it takes, as I started to learn and find podcasts and read books and gain education, which took a long time, I learned that it takes just as much time, energy, and effort to buy a fourplex as it takes to buy an apartment complex. Wait, so I could get more renters under one roof, make more money? Can you do that where I live? Not really. This California dude, it's crazy here. So how do you do that somewhere else? Okay, that requires more education. And so I feel comfortable because I'm not spending, at this point I'm thinking like, I'm going to spend all of my money by myself to do this. And that stressed me out too. It's like, what I have is not much. It just happens to be everything. Can I risk that? So it became this long learning curve. And there's so much to learn to be successful in multifamily real estate, which means the barrier to entry, it's pretty high. Whereas the barrier to entry to become a realtor, it's not that high, generally speaking. Everybody's a realtor. Like I said, met 6 people, 3 of them were real estate agents at a lunch where I was trying to meet new people. Very crazy. Sense that there's just it's a longer learning curve, so it takes more to get there. So to get from the house to the fourplex relied solely on what I could produce. To get from the fourplex to the apartment complex relied on what a team could produce. Well, I just happen to come from a team background, so I'm like, hey, I know what it's like to be on a team. What does that team need? So that's when I started focusing on this. Okay, education time. Like, what do I got to do to get there? Still in my mind, right? Okay, I got a plan. Oh my goodness, there's tons of hurdles because there's a lot more to learning this process. And what I want to do for you here today is I want to lower that barrier to entry. A lot of people believe that multifamily real estate, it's just simply too complex for them. And that's why I created this course. I've got 2 companies, Multifamily Migration, which is to help realtors figure out how to do this. It's a game changer. It will truly show you a new tool so that you can go from selling real estate for commission to selling real estate for part of the investment. And I'm going to explain that more. It might seem a little bit complex. We'll let it digest a little bit and we'll come back. Is this the kind of real estate that can lead to generational wealth? Absolutely. You get hit by a truck, you get hit by a van, you got something left over for your family above and beyond whatever your life insurance is. Plus, you get to enjoy the benefits now. You could go on vacation and not have that stress sitting on your shoulders of is money coming in while I'm here doing this relaxing whatever. And then I've got my second company, which is the Multifamily Move. And that it educates single family investors about multifamily real estate and helps them to move from the single family house to the multifamily houses. In multifamily migration, it's for you. We're here to help realtors because I have shared this concept with every realtor I know, and nobody's like, "Oh, that's amazing! I'm already doing it." No. I'm sharing it today. I just had with coffee today at a guy. I'm like, "Hey, dude, try this." And he works at a surfer town here in town. So of course I have to start dropping more dudes because obviously he's a surfer. And we're here to help realtors help their clients make the shift into multifamily investing. Along the way, you just happen to make a lot more money for yourself. And our goal is to help you create monthly cash flow without the headache of learning all the complexity, all that part. No more worrying about the next escrow. We feel like this will allow realtors to do a better job for their clients, for their customers, because it alleviates some of their personal stress. I have a lot less personal stress when I'm dealing with the houses because I know I've got my financial house in order. Does that make sense? I hope so. Can you imagine, what it's like when you make more money on each house? It's insane. And I'm going to show you how we do that. So let's keep going here. Working with the multifamily migration, we're the fast track. And as much as I hate saying the fast track, because I don't really like shortcuts, the idea is to take out these hurdles and simplify the process so that you can leap forward ahead of time and not spend the years that I've spent doing this and figuring out how to play this game. And the idea is why jump these hurdles when we can just help you sprint to the finish line. And in our case, the finish line it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of good money. So let's get there. I'm going to get sidetracked. And all right. So let's a little bit more of the fun stuff. Typically investments are $50,000 minimum to get into an apartment complex. And we'll get more into that. But I just want to share an example so you can kind of see like, why am I spending my time on this webinar listening to some of the details. So I had a client, she trusted me up until the point where she was only willing to give me $75,000. She has $1.5 million paid off in her residential real estate. Paid off. She's almost making $6,000 a month in rent on these houses. So she's not doing great. She's still looking for a $12 an hour job. It's not great. It's awesome that she owns it. To have 3 houses paid off in Southern California, it's amazing. Super, super awesome. So I was talking with her and I was sharing her what I'm doing, and she's like, okay, I want to test you out, Ruben. So she invested $75,000. Now she is making $5,250 a year doing absolutely nothing. Whereas on her residential houses, she picks up the checks, she meets the contractors when something breaks, she mows the yard. Because otherwise, if she got a property manager, there'd be no money in it for her whatsoever. And she wants to have some money. So she would be owning for appreciation and hoping that the property just keeps going up and up and up. Not going to work. So I helped her put $75,000 in. She now is getting a little over $5,000 a year for just owning the property. Everything is taken care of. Essentially what we did is we eliminated all her stress. Now, this is a 5-year project, and in that 5-year process, she will get her $75,000 back, plus an additional $60,000 minimum And as the business plan is unfolding, it actually is going to get better than that. I have to call her and give her that good news in a few days. Like, who doesn't like that kind of news, right? So she's projected to make $135,000 total. The bulk of it coming at the end, but she's making money during that time that we're holding this property as well. So there you can see there's her profit of $86,250, and it'll kind of break that down. Just like any house, every apartment complex is different. Every deal is different. They're all unique. The moral of this story is that it requires a team to help you get through this process. But you must have the right team. Does that make sense? Okay, I've always wanted to say this, but wait, there's more. I've never had a chance to do that and actually mean it. There's a absolutely enormous tax break. So my client put $75,000 in. She's going to keep every single dollar of it. It won't go to taxes, which is a huge concern, right? She's baby boomer, thinking about retiring. She wants to lower her tax liabilities. She wants to keep more money in her pocket because she just wants to be able to know what's going on. And it took a while for all of this to make sense. And it did for me too. Although what you need to know is there's a huge tax break, and your accountant can help you with this as we give you the right questions to ask or the right forms to provide. It's not rocket science. It's super cool. So you think it's cool? And then lastly, depending on my client, this example, her personal responsibility, tax responsibility, she may not have to pay taxes on the $60,000 at the end of the 5 years either. You don't need to know how to do it. You just need to know that they exist at that point. Isn't that cool? Okay. So we're kind of kidding when we put this in, and we're like, hey, yeah, it's great for my client, but why am I going to do all this extra work and not get paid myself? Okay. So just a joke, hopefully you're amazed, prepared to be amazed. I was amazed, especially when you realize how much money I made off of $75,000 and am making off of $75,000. All right. So when you go from putting money in as a residential real estate agent into an apartment complex, you switch to you put your realtor hat on. Great. Sold the house. And then over here, you put your capital raiser hat on. Different jobs, different pay structures. You understand residential real estate, percentage of the house or a set price. Okay. On the capital raising side, you get paid what's called an acquisition fee. And I want you to think of a pie. I'm going to think pizza because I'm kind of hungry. A big round pizza. 1/3 of that pizza, especially let's say 30% of that pizza belongs to the team that brought you the pizza. You have the opportunity to get into this pizza, and it's super expensive pizza. You want a slice. You can only afford one slice because let's say it's $50,000. 30% of that pizza belongs to the guy in the team or the girl in the team, and they're called syndicators. Syndicators are simply a group or team of people that get together, organize, and then go buy something bigger. In this case, they're buying an apartment complex, a multifamily apartment real estate. And if you bring in money, you get a slice of their pizza. So now you get that 30% that they get. You get a piece of it just for helping them out with a problem, because they've got to deal with a lot of things. There's a lot of plates spinning. My friend Vinny, who I'll introduce you to sometime, he'll tell you there's 5 plates spinning. And within each plate, there's a ton of stuff going on. You help them solve one of their problems, which is they need money to come in to help get the loan. And then for my first acquisition fee off that $75,000, I got $2,475, no broker splits. And this means now I get a slice of the pizza. So I got paid for eating the pizza, which I don't know about you. Pizza's delicious, but I don't necessarily need the calories. In this case, I did like the cash. That was pretty awesome. Now that I own this slice of pizza, I become what's known as an equity partner. I own a slice. I own a piece of that real estate. And that makes me part owner of the entire thing, which is super awesome. And the best part was on this one, I didn't I didn't put any money in myself. I actually didn't have my money ready in time, or I would have. But in this case, I didn't have money ready in time, and I got paid. It was super awesome. I get paid every month just for owning a piece of that pie. For a piece of that real estate, I now get paid every month, which is like my favorite day of the year, or favorite day of the month. You know, it's kind of like Christmas Eve the night before, when you're like, I can't wait, I want to open, and then that money shows up in my check account, and I'm like, woohoo, Christmas! Yeah. Present showed up, I'm like, open my checking account, and there's money in it. Like, what? All right, I'm going to get too excited. So for that $75,000 in, I got paid my acquisition fee. I get paid monthly. And in this case, it comes out to $1,134 every year that we own the property. And again, I didn't use any of my own money. So now I've not putting, and I still own this. All I had to do was bring my client to the apartment syndicator and help them go buy this big, huge pizza pie. It was awesome. Super fun part, in 5 years, right? We're still in year one on this one. When we sell the property, because that property has gotten better and we've improved it and made it more valuable. We've done work to it. We have a business plan. We've executed that business plan. The property will become worth more. It'll sell more. So when it sells for more, I'm going to get cashed out. I'm going to make $48,000. What? I have to whisper it. I can't whisper it. Dude, I can't. All right. Again, I didn't put in any of my own money. It's like, are you kidding me? Have you ever had a commission check that big? Have you ever sold something for $75,000 and made $53,000? Are you kidding? All I did was solve some problems, like for showing my client how to make more money. So she's super happy right now. Like, I'm calling her and giving her updates on the property, which I don't have to, because she already gets an email and a webinar explaining it all to her. But I call her just to touch base, because ultimately I want to sell her houses. She's got 3 of them. She only gave me $75,000, and she just pulled that money out of her house. She just did cash out refi to put the money in. It was simple for her. Now she's getting money all the time, and I am having the opportunity to go back and say, you put that to work. Do you want to do it again? So it gives me reason to stay in front of my client. You know, like, how amazing is that? Like, she's happy. I made great money. The apartment syndicator is happy, which would give me a new relationship. Like, it just wins all around. Okay, so moving on to good stuff. Here are the 3 secrets I'll be sharing with you. Are you ready? 1, how to connect with a new base of clients that are way easier to work with. 2, how to make more money in residential real estate by connecting to those new clients, okay? And then 3, how to step away from selling, and I mentioned this one earlier, how to step away from selling residential real estate for a commission check and into selling residential real estate for a share of the investment. And that's what I was just kind of illustrating in that last story. So I hope you're ready. Are you ready? All right, secret number 1, you're a realtor. You already know the business. I'm not going to tell you how to do that. You know your stuff. But what I want you to remember, that this is still real estate in going and buying an apartment building. Still the same game. It's still real estate. It's just a different niche. Same business, new niche. Okay. So here we go. Let's get into some of these things that I hear when I'm explaining this to people. Okay. So my goals were twofold: to gain financial freedom, right? From the earning roller coaster, that peaks and valleys from closing to closing. There's a valley in between. I wanted to gain some financial freedom in that time frame and all over my life, and provide better real estate work for my clients and provide better financial security for my family. And then second is I want to get as many people to join me on this so that they can have the same financial freedom that I'm seeking and I'm attaining. And what I like to do is take people with me, because it's just fun. Okay, here we go. Let me just tell you a little bit of story. So I'm sure if you haven't seen this movie and I'm spoiling it for you, I apologize, but let's be honest, it's already on. You can go get it on iTunes and download it and wherever. I'm sure it'll be on Netflix or some downloadable HBO something or other soon. So I worked super hard how to figure out investment properties on my own. And then I came across a podcast that explained property syndication, which made it show that it takes a team to buy these things. So then I'm a total comic book nerd. It's how my parents used to get me to read when I was a little kid. Whole story for a different time. And so I've obviously been enamored with the movies coming out, and just, I love them. They're entertaining. It makes me happy. But what I recognize is that syndication has a lot of teamwork that needs to happen. And the best way I can explain it very simply is that it requires special traits and abilities. Every person brings something special to the team. And when they bring all of these skills together, they can take down the biggest of the baddies, right? So in the Avengers movie, they took down Thanos. It was super cool. It wasn't easy to do. It took a lot of teamwork. Even when they disagreed, they got there. They got to the finish line and they win, right? In our case, it's kind of like that. We are a member of the team, and we go down and we work together, and we go down and we take down things that are super big. In my last case, the property we took down was $52 million. That's pretty badass. But it took a team to do it. So instead of buying one house, you're buying a bunch of real estate all at once. You're buying, in our case, 320 houses, and we're getting that discount. It's kind of like when you go to Costco or Sam's Club or Smart and Final. You're buying in bulk, so you get a discount. There's a lot of that goes on when you buy the big apartment complexes. Okay. And the best part about this was, remember how I was mentioning, it wasn't, what I have is not much, but it's everything I have. I don't have to use everything I have. I got that investment on that one, and I'm getting paid because of a bigger problem. I've always been good at connecting people, and that's what real estate agents do. We just have to be good at connecting people together, and that's what you to an escrow officer, to a home inspector, to a plumber, to an electrician. You're making the phone calls, a different viewpoint. And so you're already good at this, whether you believe it or not. Trust me. So I figured out that I can house investors, apartment, they need each other. They just don't know it. And a lot of times that are kind of stuck. They got stuck at the greenhouse. They went the big red house properly. Their picture that they see. We're doing it every day. Okay. And this is an objection that comes up a lot. See how I can get into multifamily real estate investing, and that'll someone else's investment. And to be real with you, I never really had this question, but my wife did when I was trying to explain it to her. And it's a good question, right? In other words, how is there enough money to go around? And the answer is this. When I began my quest for knowledge, I knew that properties in other parts of the world made a bunch of money. But what blew my mind was how much money they made. Seriously, if you're in California like me, it's nuts here. The market's expensive everywhere you go. We're just in the wrong place to go out and try to buy property that will spin off money every month. The appreciation we're going to get, which is great, but the appreciation isn't going to help me survive and pay my cell phone bill. The appreciation, that property going up in value, isn't going to help me pay for my marketing materials for my business. It's not going to help me pay for anything that comes in every month. Gas bills, food. I need monthly money coming in. Well, that's what I was having trouble with. And as I looked into other properties around the country, you start to recognize that there's more money coming in, and you can get a cash flow. You can get money coming in every month. You can get appreciation. Sometimes you get both. It's just a matter of going to the right market. And there's enough money going around because when you buy in bulk, you're getting discounts. Remember when you go to Costco, right? Those big warehouse shopping clubs that we all are a part of? You buy in bulk and you get a discount. Well, when you do that with a team, now there's more money coming off because you've paid your membership dues. So you're having more money come back. And I feel like that's a bad analogy. So let's say this. You go to Costco, you pay your membership. And as a result, you save money on the back end, right? Well, okay, in this case, we pay the syndicator a little bit. And that syndicator goes and finds us an amazing deal that we get to agree to or not agree to. And then they get paid when they buy the property. I got paid when we bought the property. So there's my membership fee. Now I'm getting a discount on the property we own because there's so much of it. And then that what does is it means that our expenses, when we go to have people manage the property for us, when we go to buy carpet, we're buying carpet for a whole bunch of for a whole bunch of units all at once, or vinyl flooring. We're buying it in bulk at Costco, and then we're going over here and putting it in. Well, we got our discount. So that discount gets paid back to us as owners in the real estate. It's incredibly awesome. I could go on and on, but I got to keep you moving here so I don't keep you all day. Secret number 2. All right. Not that I don't love the joy that comes from working with first-time homebuyers. I love it. You know, that feeling you get when you're helping new life and new couples begin their journey together. It's fun. I get goosebumps thinking about it. On the personal side, on the business side, if you step back and figure out how much time you take and invest with them, it's a lot. And what happens is you're selling this one-to-one thing, so you have to try to fill in other things, other properties behind it, and they're eating up a ton of time. And you have to spend way more time educating them about the next step in buying their home. And it's a long process. I love them, but if we change the type of real estate we're working with, you can enjoy that time with them and you don't have to stress out because you got more money coming in. So you need a little bit different client, somebody who's been through this more and they have expectations on how the whole game works. So we need to change that clientele and add additional clientele in. And what it does is they're less emotionally attached. So their decisions are numbers based, whereas a lot of times our first-time home buyers are very much emotionally based because it's new and it's stressful. And, I can't blame them. I can give them the attention they need because all my other clients over here are numbers based. And I can spit these things out to them real fast. They can make quick, fast decisions. If it works for them, great. If it doesn't, that's okay too. I can still continue to work with them because it might work with them next month, next year, so on and so on. And many agents will start to think, I'm not interested in complex marketing system. Let's be honest. We all get pitched every day. I already had 3 phone calls telling me about my social media and what they can do for me with a website and all these new leads they're going to generate me. Like I already got pitched 3 times on my phone saying like, God, please stop calling me. By the end of the day, we're not being polite anymore. We're just like, click, thank you. Hi, I'm with 123 social media and we can help you get your new, we can automatically post for you on your social media and we're going to build you this website. Can you handle 1 to 3 more leads per month? And let me just sign onto your computer real quick. I'll give you a quick 10-minute demo. Oh my God. No, thank you. No, thank you. Click, and you feel rude because you're trying to be polite. So I'm not trying to give that to you. I'm not trying to do that to you by any means. And what I want to show you is you're talking about, you just haven't added this step in. And I was really tired of working with the emotional clients because I had so many of them for a while. Here's a summary of one story of a client I had, and this happened this year. That's why I put this one in. I showed him houses for months, and he was wishy-washy about making a decision, and the wife kind of let the husband make all the decisions because it was his money and his name going on the loan. And, okay, what do you guys want? What are your goals? So I'm trying to help them reach their goals. And I spent time and time and time. And, hey, we need to see a house today. Can you make it? And like, okay, sweetie, I got to run out the door, drive 45 minutes, show them the house, drive 45 minutes back home. And then after, I don't know, months, I get the phone call that they went to an open house without me. And then the listing agent gave them the entire buyer's commission, essentially cutting me out of the deal. I was like, what? That's crappy. I spent so much time working for you guys. So I got cut out. And, I was trying to show goodwill, and I never had a buyer's agreement, which I took as a lesson learned. That was my fault. I should have known better in this case. I've never used one before. So after, months of working for it, working for his family, I had absolutely nothing to show for it. So that was that emotional client. It's time to upgrade them by going after a little bit more stable client who's already owns a lot of houses. They just see the world differently. And it just doesn't get so aggravating when you spend so much time and then just simply get cut out. Okay. And then let's see here what we've got here. Okay. Taking care of your clients. Okay. And let's be honest, going after real estate investors, don't get me wrong. I'm under no false impression here. They'll absolutely cut me out if they find something better. They're no special breed here. However, but by bringing a very specific value and skill set that is coming to our interaction, they need the deals that I have for them. They need me in order to get those deals, because I'm providing something they can't get anywhere else. Does that make sense? And after all sharing all that aggravation, that's what I decided to go after investors. I've always kind of been drawn to them. However, this gave me something unique, not just the robocalls that we get, or the whenever they mass call us and they say, "Oh, hi, I'm Steve or I'm Susie with whatever flipping company. You can represent us on both sides. Might you have any off-market flips?" You're like, "Oh my gosh, okay." I don't even know them. It's just, it's not a personal call, so why would I call them back? Unless I've got something that maybe will work for them. But by going after the investors that are owning houses as rental properties, it has allowed me to upgrade my clientele. I'm working with people that have a different set of problems. Some of them don't even know that the problems exist. And then once you show them that there's another way, they see that this problem exists, or they already knew about it, and you're just offering them a solution. They can take it or not. Okay. And then, I had a few people tell me like, "Hey, I'm just not interested in resident or commercial real estate." This is not what you should be thinking. What you should be thinking is you need to stop. Seriously, you need to stop. You don't have to do it all. Seriously. It's not about what you do. It's about who. When you sell a house, you don't necessarily do all the paperwork. Maybe you have a transaction coordinator. You certainly probably have an escrow company. You have a home inspector. You are not doing all these things. You have a who. I know that if my client calls me and says, "Hey, I have a plumbing problem. You know any plumbers?" I've got a who. I don't turn the wrench. I call a guy who does it way better than I do. Yes, I can change my oil. My dad showed me when I was a kid, "This is how you change your oil, son. So you can always change your oil in your car. It's important." Great. I can do it. Or I can pay these guys over here. It's almost drive through. It's like 15 minutes. They get my car up. They got me going through, and they change it, and I'm in and out like 15 minutes. They're a who. I call them because they're fast and they get me back on the road and get me back to work. That's what we need to do. I want to be your who. If you already have a team around you, you know that your productivity goes way up, and you can get your efforts. People do things for you, simple things. And if you don't have a team, just let me tell you that if you find the right people and you get them around you, they can make magic happen for you. So we want to be one of your who's, and I want you to become a who for your investing clients, and you can make great money at it. So again, you need to fix your thinking. And as much as I hate the word shortcut, you could take the shortcut by changing who you do business with. Are you with me? Okay. Secret number 3. I'm skipping ahead here. Let me back up one step. Secret number 3. How to step away from selling houses. for a commission and how to step into selling houses for a share of the investment. So let's get forward with it. Had people say, some people tell me, residential realtors say, I don't know how to help clients invest in multifamily apartment buildings. Of course you don't. That's why you're here. I want to help you. You're here. That's why I'm here. That's why you're here. Let's scratch that itch. I am your who. I will get you there. Okay, let's explain. I originally, I spent years, and yes, I said years, but hear me out. I'm here to offer you a shortcut so that you don't have to spend the same amount of time that I did learning how to do this system. And I'm an impatient person. I want something and I want to move fast. I want to go now. And in learning in years to get my first deal done, that took patience, that took time, and it's something I'm not naturally good at. I just want to make things happen fast. So I didn't have a who to turn to help me accelerate this process. I had to go get a mentor. I had to read an enormous amount of books and do Audible and podcasts and travel to Atlanta and Denver. And I was all over the country learning these things from different people who had done this already on the syndication side. So let me be your who to help you narrow that learning curve so it doesn't take you so long. I was on my own and I had to jump over those hurdles to get to the end of the finish line, And so my question is for you, do you want to sprint or do you want to be a hurdler? The sprinter is going to get there faster, and that's the idea. Let's see how fast we can get there. And you can always go further, faster with a team. You just need the right who to join you. I am one of those who's on the Avengers. It's awesome. Like I said, like I was talking about the Avengers, everybody had their own movie and they all kind of have like their special unique thing. They're all a unique part of a team, right? I had to learn how to become something. I specialize in one part of the deal. And that was to add value to my partners. And what I did is I became a capital raiser. And you can do that too as a real estate agent. It's actually a very easy process. You just need to know how to do it. And you need your right who to show you there. Okay, so some other people also think, I don't know what connections are out there to help me sell multifamily to my investing clients. I didn't either. I started out with a bunch of podcasts, which I suggest everybody do. But I was dropped in the middle of this long conversation on these podcasts, and it was like, it's kind of like when you go to a restaurant of some sort of ethnicity, and then you hear somebody order something in a different language, and you're like, ooh, I recognize that word, and I recognize that word, but I have no idea what they said. And then you see that plate of food going, you're like, oh my God, that looks delicious. What did they order? I wish I knew. It's kind of like that. When you go to these podcasts, they're talking about stuff, you're like, I recognize these words, but I have no idea what they're saying. And then you hear about the money they make, you're like, oh my God, that's amazing. How do I get there? So I had to listen to these experts speak, and I just, like I said, I had no clue what they were doing. And then I had to go about deciphering. Yes, I had heard words like cap rate and appreciation and cash flow. And then they start throwing in other words. Like, what the hell does that mean? I'm spending my time on my phone looking for a dictionary and a thesaurus to try to figure these words out, right? When you DIY your own education like that, it just slows you down. It's a long process. Have you ever done that before? It's long, right? Okay. And the truth is, why are you wasting your time? I hope you're enjoying this webinar so far. I don't want you to waste your time. It is, again, important. It's not what you know, it's who you know. You don't have to know everything. I don't know how to put a roof down on a house, but I know a roofer who does. Again, my who. Okay. So what we've covered so far, secret number one, right? The idea of these secrets is who wants to go to the next level. How do you want to make more money? Can you imagine if you put $1.5 million in on one of the deals I saw today, let me whip out the calculator here. So on a deal I saw today, if I were to bring in $1.5 million for one of my investors, 1.3, I'd make $45,000 just for my acquisition fee. And then it was going to be I'd make almost $120,000 in ownership over 5 years time for work that I'm already doing. I've already got the lady who has $1.5 million. She gave me 75,000 earlier. And she has the money. So now I'm going to sell the houses, help her place it, and potentially earn how much money? Over $150,000? Okay, sign me up. Yeah, so all I'm doing is connecting these problems to these people. It's so fun. Again, who wants to take this to the next level? So that's what we want to introduce you to. We want to introduce you to our multifamily shift masterclass. It's completely at home. You'll have a lot of access. And the best part is, if you're with me today, this is our beta class. So you are important. And let's get to what I mean. The idea is to keep doing what you're already doing and just add to it. And now that I know how to do this, I can do this in as little as 45 days. Real estate moves differently. And it takes longer, but as little as 45 days, you can make an extra check. Plus you can own part of a big property, and the syndicators need us. Like, once you get involved with my network, you're going to realize, like, wow. Okay, so let's talk about the class and what you get. This is super exciting. I have never built a class like this. This may actually change. I don't need to know how to build a class. I don't know how adults learn. I don't know the theory behind it. I don't know what the best way to structure this is. So what I did is, it just so happens I have a buddy that, lo and behold, he builds classes for adults. He won a $10 million grant for his high school. He's been flying around, a public high school at that. He's been flying around the country over the last few summers building classes. And I was like, hey man, I'm thinking about putting together this class. Can you help me? And again, it was a who. So I don't know how to do this. I got him to help me, and he's helping me build this class for you. So here's what the classes looks like. We've got 9 modules at this point scheduled. It might grow a little bit, but we have takeaways and challenges. The plan is to keep you busy, 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 so that you can learn the process. Now, the proof. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine this? So what can $48,000 do for you? Just for making a connection. That's what I did. $40,000 just for putting this person together with this person, and then I got earned something. The bigger the problem we solve, the more we get paid. I was a who, and I connected some other people. So I put $75,000 of my client's money into the investment property. My client expects to make that $86,250, and I make 48. I was a who, I just put it together. Who does this work for? Great question. Residential realtors who want to expand their client base. Residential realtors who want to make more money off of each deal. Residential realtors who want to take their business to the next level. I got a phone call. In fact, if you go and you find me at the multifamily migration, I'm on both. I can't remember which one I put it on. Anyway, I think it's migration. I got a phone call the other day, and I was super stoked because I don't operate in the multi-million-dollar listing price range. I know they exist. I've seen a few. They're awesome. But if you Google me and say, hey, who sells these kind of houses? My name doesn't even pop up on the list, right? But I got a call the other day for a $10 million listing. I don't think I'm going to get it. What I was excited about is they saw that I have a plan. They have a stupid amount of equity in their house because they've owned it forever. They built it. They had an appraiser come out, and they appraised at $10 million. They sent me the pictures, and they're getting ready to list. They called me, like I said, because I have a plan, and then they want me to come and interview because they would like to put their money to work for them. Their family's grown. They don't need this big house anymore. Super exciting. So it was exciting. If I get it, great. If I don't, I'm just, what? I popped up on a new radar because I have a plan. So, I also became a new who for somebody. So everyone says that, money is in the niche. Maybe you're ready for a new niche too. Okay. Number one reason why people don't get started, time. You don't have the ability to go out and pick up this years long worth of education and then go find the process or find the apartments and find the syndicators and make sure that they're good people and that the time you need who, can you make a little extra time in your morning to learn a new niche? I'm sure you can. It's not hard. It just takes a little bit of effort. And the benefit from it is passive income. I'm making money every month, even though I didn't do any work. Passive. It's great. Now I do the work because I want to get more of my investors' money. I keep saying her. I've got a whole bunch of them now. I'm just referring to the one who has the 3 houses. So, in moving forward, sorry, getting interrupted there. In moving forward, here's what you're going to get in the class. And this is our beta course. So our price is going to be significantly reduced because we're going to ask feedback from you. And I'll get to that in a second. The course itself is generally $2,997. And we want to make sure that you have tools to help you. We're making more tools every day, and we're improving these as we go. And like I said, this is our beta course. So I've got a who helping me build all of this to make sure it comes through nice and professional, and we do a great job for you. And then we want to give away more. So we give our customers access to the membership area. Do you think that you'd be able to use some of these tools? Some of these you can give away to clients, like the rental home maintenance log, perfect thing to give to houses that are renters, that are owned by rentals, and give them something to, hey, do you have this log? It'll make them think of things that they haven't thought of. Like, oh my goodness, I haven't cleaned the dryer vent in 3 years. I thought I just had that done last year. Well, it's been to remind them and give them something nice and make it look pretty. So an example. Okay, obviously, here's our market analysis survey sheet. What do different markets look like? We kind of help you figure out how to figure that out with that tool. I spent a ridiculous amount of time going through the state landlord's reference guide sheet. And what I did is I sent you to the spot in each state, which is ridiculous. I can't tell you how long I spent doing that one. But I wanted to do that one. So I was the who. And all you have to do is hit a link and it'll get you at least to a starting point for the landlord tenant laws in that state. Again, we always have some other tips and tricks for you along the way. The rental home maintenance log, I kind of mentioned that one is a good thing for your clients. Things to consider when choosing a market. What does that market look like? What is the good and bad about it? I don't know anything about Orlando. I don't know if you go this way or that way, if it's good area, bad area. However, with all the tools that I was able to ask and questions I was able to ask, you narrow it down and how to figure that out. And then we have some pros and cons tips for you on multifamily investment. So what does that look like? And then lastly, it's a whole new language. I wanted to have a quick reference guide available for you. So we have a terminology sheet. That way, if you hear a word, you're like, what does that mean? At least you have something to reference really quick. We'll explain all of that as we go through and help you with the vocabulary, but at least you have something in the meantime. Okay, get these things up here. So I've been working so hard to teach clients about this stuff. I've been creating new tools every day to illustrate these concepts for people who are casually interested. We test them and redo them as we get more feedback. And that's what we're going to be doing with you as our beta course, so that you're getting a significant discount and you're helping us make this course better, which you'll always have access to. And all this will be made available through our member portal. Okay, so these tools will solve quite a few things, but here's where we wanted to start. Time and money saved. I have done your homework for you. You won't have to do all the legwork. Okay, so I'm giving you permission to relax here. We're making this as formulaic as possible, and we want to be your who. So are you ready for a team yet? Okay. Add this and that's great. You might be thinking these things here, or maybe your clients don't like extra money or time or freedom from costly maintenance and repairs. And if they don't, then that's okay. Maybe this isn't for them, and I save you time. You will save yourself time so that you don't go waste it chasing something that's not going to happen. But if they are interested in these things, you can provide the value for them to solve their problems. And again, the bigger the problem you solve, the more you're going to earn. Okay, moving on. The tools package. Here's some of the things we've got for you. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's one more. Okay, this is what we have for you to start, and that is our value of $297. And again, this is just what we're starting with. There are tons of other tools that we're working on inside the multifamily shift, but if they're not complete, I don't feel comfortable putting my name behind them yet, so I didn't put them here. I will bring those to you as they come available, and you'll always have access. Okay, so here's what we've got so far, but we're not done. I just want to show you the value so that you can see it's very important to us to do a great job, because we want to help you so that you can help join our network. Here we go. Okay. These are fictional models that I'll also have, and I might actually get some actual models. I just have to get permission to use them. It's tough to give you a model that's fictional, and then it's also tough to give you a model that's actual one out there, because sometimes people get sensitive, like we're going to steal something. So I'm getting permission for those. The idea is to give you a model so that you know what a good deal looks like and you know what a bad deal looks like, and I can point the things out for you so you can see it real quick, and you don't have to spend time learning how to evaluate a spreadsheet that is 7 pages long and transfers all over the place. What it does, it allows you to use our expertise and leverage our experience and knowledge and be able to share that with your clients. So you can show them that you're part of a team that has this knowledge and ability. You become a who. Okay, are you asking yourself, I thought this guy was telling me that I won't have to learn all this stuff. And you know what? You won't have to learn it to the depth and the knowledge that the syndicators do. But you want to be an informed agent for yourself, for your clients, so that you know the basics, or at least be able to walk your clients through the process. I promise we'll keep the math as simple as possible, and we're going to try to make this like the Cliff Notes of deal analysis, if that kind of makes sense. You'll be able to present and share and convey an idea. And if you're in trouble, you always have a team behind you. You have a who. Okay, so the deal model package, they're currently in the works. They're not quite done yet. We'll have them out as soon as possible, but at least you can see the value behind it. Those will be coming along shortly. So far, here's what we've got. We've got the shift class. We've got the tools. We've also got the investment models pack. Then on top of that, you're also going to get these items here. You get into our Facebook group mastermind, and we're going to keep these purposely small. It's not going to be a massive group because this is our beta course. We're going to be trying to interact with you much, much more so that you can help us also. You give us feedback like, hey, we need more information on this, that, and the other thing, and I can give it to you. We're trying to build this as professionally as possible with this course, and as a result of asking us for a little help, the class is significantly reduced and we're almost there. But you can see you'll get hours of training, you'll get tons of networking opportunities. The networking alone is invaluable. You'll get access to the deals that we're going through and hunting through, because you have to go through a lot of deals right now to find the right one. And that way, when you do get your clients ready, you have something good that you believe in, that you're comfortable with, to put their money into. And what we're trying to do there is eliminate time. The time to hunt these deals down. It's a tedious process, and it takes a long time. Okay. So what is this sort of platform that we're putting this on? This will be the place that unites realtors and multifamily syndicators. In fact, the idea is to get together so that something magic happens. How exciting is this? The apartment syndicators, they need us just as much as we need them. So we're building a platform where we can all meet together and have that magic, happy place. Our own real estate Disneyland. It's an idea. Okay, the Facebook group mastermind, it's actually priceless, but we had to assign a value somewhere. So let's keep going. So we've got all of these things. So we're up to $3,988. So you can see that we're not messing around. A lot of this is what our cost is to produce it. we're not actually, making a fortune here. And you'll also see some more. This is probably the most thing that I'm excited about for you. I would have given my right arm for this opportunity, and I'm right-handed. So when I was starting out, and this is, you get a strategic partnership. And I'm going to give you my network. I'm going to give you access to all the syndicators that I know, that I've broken bread with and met with face-to-face. I've seen the kind of deals that they've done, that they're doing, that they're looking for. So we have a good foundation and trust in them because they're proven operators. We don't want to go get somebody that hasn't necessarily done this before or doesn't have a proven team behind them. We're serious about this. And there's a lot of ways that the syndicators are looking to raise money, and we're anxious to provide connections with them to you. And they're excited to come meet with us. So I need you to not be like me. One more, there we go. So, when I first started, I was kind of naive. I had the knowledge base, and I needed my Obi-Wan Kenobi, to be honest with you, someone to guide me the path. I took myself as a soldier. I wasn't the general. I was a soldier because I was like, hey, I'm a rookie. You've done this before. You'd give me marching orders and I will execute, sir. And what it did was I ended up connecting with this gentleman, and he sold himself as being much further down the road, having done this a bunch. And it turns out that he wasn't. And he spoke a good game, but he got us in trouble. Fortunately, I was able to save all the money that everyone had spent, which is just on the deal itself, not actual investor money, and get the deal wholesaled off. I didn't make anything, but I spent a ridiculous amount of time on it, and it was frustrating. It was because I didn't have the right who around me. I didn't have a network. So I had to go back to the ground and start building that network, and that's what I'm bringing to you here. So I don't want you to be like me and waste time, because that's just silly. I know I'm hitting this one a little hard, but I'm hoping that I make my point. I haven't made it yet. You need a team. You need your who. Can't do this on your own to go buy a big complex. It just takes too much, unless you have incredibly deep pockets, and then in which case it's a whole different conversation, right? Okay, you might be thinking, I can find the network on my own, and I don't on your own. You don't necessarily need. That's true. You're absolutely 100% correct. You can do it. But again, it's kind of like changing my oil. I can do it myself, but I'm going to spend half a day doing it. I'm going to go and buy the parts and I don't even know if I have the right tools anymore, and get the oil and everything, the filter. By the time I do that, I've already lost a couple hours. And then by the time I get home, get the car lifted, get it under there, lift it, and then I probably forgot something, because I got to run back to the store. It's going to take me half a day. But with the right who, I get it into the right place. They help me. Yes, it costs me something in that case, but I'm in and out faster. So you can do this on your own. We just want to help you be your who. So come and join us. In our strategic partnership, it's worth about 50 grand. At least that's what we put on it here. But honestly, it's priceless considering the scores of people that I have behind us waiting to meet you. Their net worth is ridiculous. So they're priceless because they have net worth, but they have experience. They've been through challenging markets, ups and downs, and they have persevered. So we've got that. So far, here's what we're up to. We've got all of these things. And if that was all I did, obviously, I'm not going to charge you $53,000. That's like what I made on my first deal. I'm not going to do that to you. But if all I did was charge you that, and you made that off of $75,000, wouldn't it be worth it? You only need to help move a couple of clients, and it's not hard. We're going to teach you all about this game so that you have enough knowledge to go and get a deal done. And if you want to become a syndicator, I've got a syndicator who I think you should go learn from, a who. He's done it more than I have. He's a better teacher at the syndication game. He's actually one of my partners on this. He's helping. He's looking forward to meeting all of you as well. If all I did was connect you, and that's what I was talking about, connect you to one of my friends. He's a syndicator coach. Wouldn't it be worth it? We're going to connect you. So what would it be worth to you if you were able to make a truly passive income from real estate? What would that be worth? I'm making money and I'm sitting here talking to you folks, and I can't wait to actually talk to you guys live. It would be so much more exciting. How would it change your earning power? I haven't sold a house in a little while, and I'm not super stressed about it because I've got money coming in, and I've only shared one of the deals with you. So I get paid like 4 times a month. It's awesome. Okay, I had a couple of choices when we were putting this together. And the first choice was we could go ridiculously cheap. And then there wouldn't be a whole lot of incentive, for us to pile on the value, because it would cost us just as much to produce all these materials and content and things that you're going to need as we would be making. So there's not a whole lot of incentive. And then on the other side, our second choice was to raise the price a little bit and give you absolutely everything you need. And that's what we want to do. And since you're in our beta course, we're going to reduce it down like stupid low. We're going to get there. The way I see it, you've got the first choice. You can do nothing and take a leap of faith that the world stays the same, and that's 100% risk-free. Second option is to pony up for this tiny investment today, and compared to all the value you're getting in return, and just give it a shot. See if it'll work for you. If it doesn't work for whatever reason, we'll give you your money back. There's no risk. You don't have to lose anything but the stress and the headaches. So let's get forward a little bit here. There we go. I could make it cheap, but I couldn't give you everything you need. Make it still affordable, and I can give you all the value you need. So it's important for us to give you everything you need. So that is our total value. That's our regular price. But today we had to change it around because you are beta class, and we're going to be asking you some questions on feedback, which we promise will not be a hassle. Hopefully you're going to try to make this click yes, no's, maybe a couple of type in boxes, and share feedback on our Facebook group. And you'll always have access. $297 regularly. In 3 days, I think it goes up to $1,997. All you need to do is follow the link on this slide, and don't worry, I'll send it to you along with a reply via email. So you'll get this in your email. You'll get this link below, but it's themultifamilymigration.com/special offer/shift. We'll have the $297 link in there for you. And like I said, this is the beta version. So it's a brand new course. We haven't run through this with everyone yet. We're just going through and building it. So it'll be coming out in stages, and we'll be asking your feedback. And our Facebook group will be much smaller because we're not rolling this out to the masses. We're just trying to get a core group of people. So we'll have limited participants, and we want to have close interaction with you. We want you to succeed. It's hugely important that you get some success because we would like to share it. I like sharing the successes. It's so much fun. Plus, then you can take some of that stress off your shoulders about the next commission and when it's coming in or it's not coming in. Or worst case scenario, you'll find a new base of clients. Okay, that's too bad. I'll serve them in a new way. Like I said, my guarantee. So what I want you to think about, money. Actually, my guarantee is, I had mentioned, if you don't find the value here, we won't charge you for it. We'll get your money back. But what I want you to think about for a minute is, what is money? A lot of people have the fear that money, and even bigger fears about spending money. But you need to understand that money is good. It's just a tool that was created for exchange. Other than that, there's no real value in it. You can't eat it. You can't sleep on it. And, you can only trade it for something that you want. So just think, everyone who exchanges money for something does it because they feel that what they're getting in exchange is greater than what they're using it for, or for something else. At least that's what I expect when I buy something. I don't actually buy stuff until I know for sure, and I do buy it and try it out and can see the results. I'm excited. But my question for you is this: would you exchange that money for those results? Would you exchange $297 for $53,000? I would. I made more than that in my acquisition fee. I make more than that every month. I would. I would. Is it up for you? Yes. And remember, we still got our guarantee behind us. We want to provide. We want to help you succeed. We want to get you our network, and we want to introduce you to these people. If the answer is yes, you need to get started right now. And if you have any fear that it might not be what you expected, or that you might not be able to get those results, just let us know. Like I said, we'll get you your money back. But again, it's only $297. That's nothing. The real question, is it worth gambling a few minutes of your time to check this out? And even if it only does half of what I've claimed today, it will pay for itself in as little as 45 days. And the idea is to help you sprint to that finish line, not go over the hurdles. Keep in mind, we're not running a Ponzi scheme. So the investment opportunity depends on the deals that our network the deal depends on our network partners bringing to us. I can't talk. Also, please remember, you're still in the real estate profession. Nothing is instantaneous in real estate. We all know it. Escrows go sideways, things happen. But if the time is right, that change can happen soon. So come and join us. And if this wasn't amazing enough already, we have a bonus strategy call. I'll hop on the phone with you for 30 minutes. My time is worth more than what you're paying for this course. So I don't have a lot of time, but I want to make sure that we get you started off on the right foot. It's hugely important to me that you have a semblance of where to start. So we'll get you that. It's a fast track strategy to help you get started. You might be thinking it's too complex, or you don't have any investors. I was completely new to real estate a short time ago, and real estate investing a short time ago. I didn't have any help or a team. And you're going to have us in your corner. And by us, I've got a team behind me because I need who's to help me. Even though who helps me build this course. He's working on it right now. It's awesome. So remember, you've got us in your corner, and we want you to join us. So come and find us. If you're not, very least, come and hit us up online at the multifamily move migration. Multifamily move is different. You can find us there as well. And in my time, like I said, it's more than what you're paying for this course. So here's what you're getting in total, plus the bonus. And so if you're ready to give me $54,000, hey, I'll take it. I'll be sure. Thank you. However, I'm not offended if you don't want to give it. I just hope that you're ready to fork over $54,000. I'm just kidding. But I hope that you can see how valuable the package is. And, we're going to get you all of this for only $297. Once you've been through the training and you have everything set up, you can say goodbye to your stress, months of working for a client, only to be caught out in the deal or a purchase. You'll never have to worry about relying entirely on commission checks for your paydays. Can you imagine what that'd be like if you didn't have to, if that stress instantly disappeared from your life? Like what would that be? That'd be amazing. What will you do with all the extra time and energy, and money, etc.? Holy cow. And again, we've got all of these things here, but because you're our beta class and we're going to ask you some feedback questions, we're only offering this for a very short time. This won't be out in the world for very long because honestly, there's too many people that will hop on board and then we can't properly serve you. So we're trying to keep this very limited group. So come and join us, $297, multifamilymigration.com/special offer/shift. And we will send that link to you via email as well. But if you want to go hop in and do that, please do. And I can't wait to see you on the inside. Thank you for your time, and go out and let's make some real estate happen. Have a good day.